You there? I bring tidings from the Dread Lady.
Really? Who's the Dread Lady?
I thought we were done with you, but no. My mistress Lyrinth has once again sent me far and wide to bring you an important message. Shall I impart the words of the Dread Lady now, or would you rather wait until after the Daganists destroy the world?
After the Daganists destroy the world, and maybe from your brother instead, huh? Yeah? No? Alright. You still jealous? Probably.
The great and powerful Lyrinth requires the assistance of a chosen mortal. That would be you, by the way. Among other things, I can tell because of the way your hands are glowing. This concerns the ongoing threat of the Order of the Waking Flame.
Order of the Waking Flame? We haven't heard that order before. What about the order of, like, the flaming cheese? That only makes, like, grilled cheese sandwiches. That sounds like a good order, actually.
Fanatical followers of Maiden's Dagon, the Daedric Prince of Disaster. While my mistress is merely curious, she has learned that the cult's plans pose a grave threat to the mortal world. Will you assist Lyrinth? She will compensate you, of course.
Alright, let's go meet Lyrinth. Where is she?
Meet my mistress in the Oblivion city of Fargrave, outside the southern gate. Lyrinth said she would wait for you there. Hurry, chosen mortal. The fate of both Fargrave and Nirn hang in the balance.
Okay, well, can you tell me more about Fargrave? We just kind of got here.
Some of the locals call it the Celestial Palanquin, but most know it simply as Fargrave. It's a city somewhere in Oblivion, sitting on a nexus of a multitude of realms. That's one of the reasons the place is so popular. It connects to everywhere.
So like Sigil. Alright. Still serving as Lyrinth's messenger, huh?
The correct term is prophet.
Messenger.
Heathen adventurer. But yes, I still gladly and happily serve my mistress, the Dread Lady. And I have important tasks of my own to perform if we're done here. Go on. Lyrinth doesn't like to wait.
She sounds like a bottom who's not getting spanked enough. Let's go. That does sound like a rumor, Rob. Let's go to south here and take a look to talk to Lyrinth.
The anchorite. You're as bothersome as that damn troll.
Hi, want me to kill this guy?
No matter. The votive rune is placed, and now you die.
You brought this on yourself, Dagonist.
Oh, okay, you just punch him.
Hey, you, with the glowing hands. We have something in common. If you're not a cultist, we should talk.
Now, the question is, what happens if I scratch my... Well, if I scratch my butt with these hands, what happens then? Is it dangerous to go to the bathroom then?
Damn these Waking Flame cultists, bringing their Mehrunes Dagon madness to Fargrave. Their votive runes infect mortals with dark magic. I came to meet someone about all this when I spotted that cultist and my hands began to glow. Just like yours.
What is this place anyways?
This is Fargrave, a city in Oblivion with permanent and open connections to other realms. The cultists place those votive runes faster than I can destroy them, putting every mortal who lives here at risk. That's why I agreed to meet with the Dremora.
Which Dremora?
Lyrinth, the Dremora. She sent me a letter. Said the cult threatened Fargrave. Nirn, too. She wanted my help, but I can't deal with that now. The votive runes are clearly the immediate danger. We should work together on this. I can pay.
All right. I'll help you with the deal with votive runes. What do you need me to do?
I need you to talk to my contacts. Madam Wim's establishment is here in the city. Initiate Teal'go meets me in the burn, out in the Deadlands. See what they know about the votive runes and the cult's plans. Then meet me in the Fargrave crafting plaza.
All right. Well, I know Lyranth here. I'd like her to not show up, though.
Really? All I know is that she's a Dremora who has an interest in the Dagon cult known as the Order of the Waking Flame. This is where we were supposed to meet, but all I saw when I got here was that cultist and the votive rune he was casting.
You said the votive rune affects mortals. Is that what's making her hands glow?
No. The votives mess with mortal emotions, make everything more intense. Not sure why. Lyranth said the magic in her letter would allow her to recognize me. I think that's what the glow was. If only I could get the Grasp to care about all this.
Grasp?
The Grasp of the Stricture. They're an order of Daedra, mostly Dremora, who serve as arbiters and interpreters of the Stricture.
The Popo.
A magical covenant that allows Fargrave to serve as neutral ground for all Daedra. They enforce the laws, to a point.
To a point?
Well, since mortals aren't bound to the Stricture, the Grasp pretty much ignores us, unless we interfere with the Stricture in some way. As long as the cult and its votive runes only threaten mortals, the Grasp simply doesn't care.
Anchorite sounds kind of a unusual name, right?
Is it? I hadn't noticed. Look, we only just met. If you turn out to be trustworthy, I'll tell you the strange tale. If not, well, we'll deal with that if it becomes necessary.
Does that tail include the mask you're wearing?
Perhaps. And maybe it's just a fashion statement. Now, go talk to Madam Wim and Initiate Teal'go while I make my rounds. I need to check on my charges around the city.
Charges?
As a crossroads, it's natural for people from everywhere to wind up here. I check on the mortals of the city on a regular basis, help them as I can. That's why Wim calls me the Fool of Fargrave, because I care. And it's why I abhor the Dagonists.
Well, I've encountered them before, right?
Then you know the cult is evil. They appeared recently, proselytizing in the plazas. Then they started placing those votive runes. Some kind of prayer to Mehrunes Dagon. But it intensifies mortal emotions. The runes are dangerous. I know it.
Tell me more about these contacts.
Madam Wim is a dark seducer who has her thumb on the pulse of Fargrave. Nothing happens here that she isn't keenly aware of. She deals in favors and information for a price. And the more you seek her help, the more expensive her services become.
And Initiate Teal'go?
Initiate Teal'go is a member of the Order of the Waking Flame. He was my friend before the cult recruited him. Turns out, Teal'go's had a change of heart. He's been providing me with inside information about where the cult plans to strike next.
Okay, and where can I find them?
Madam Wim runs an establishment in Fargrave called the House of Wims. Just be careful. She enjoys getting her hooks in new arrivals. You'll find Initiate Teal'go in the Deadlands, an area known as the Burn. The Plaza of Portals will take you there.
And the Plaza of Portals is where I came in, right?
The Plaza of Portals is one of Fargrave's most important locations. A series of permanent gateways to other realms in Oblivion. One of those realms is the Deadlands, the domain of Mehrunes Dagon.
Good to know.
The glow seems to have faded, for now.
There we go. Somewhere in here.
No one ever told you that you have an incomparable mien. Most in this celestial Palanquin we call Fargrave have the barest patina on their auras. But you, I know multiple buyers who would pay top price for a soul like yours. Shall we trade?
Not really interested in trading souls. But what's the matter with the person sitting on the floor there?
What? Poor Josette? She's one of my favorite regulars. At least she was, before the votives affected her. First, she became belligerent, then extremely melancholy. Now she's practically mindless. But tell me, darling, what brings you to Madam Wim's?
The anchorite sent me. Says she says you know everything that happens here.
did she? All true, but I hate to brag. She's an unusual mortal, though, isn't she? Our darling of the alleys. And clever. She sent you so as not to increase her tab at the House of Whims. As a new customer, your first transaction is free.
All right, well, tell me what you know about the Waking Flame and the Vote of Runes, then.
Ah, two topics on the lips of many a Fargravian. The Daganists are mortal rabble with a fetish for destruction. The votive runes are prayers to their prince made manifest. Spells that seem to affect only mortals, like poor Josette here.
Any idea why the cultists would be placing votive runes around Fargrave?
An interesting question. Alas, I have no answer. But you're not the only newcomer to our fair city seeking such knowledge. My eyes about town tell me that Lyranth the Dremora has come to Fargrave. She's in the shambles, searching for Sister Seldina.
Seldina? That's one of the leaders of the Waking Flame, so yeah, that makes sense.
You want more? I'm giving away an awful lot as part of your free sample, but I am feeling generous today. Sister Seldina leads the Daganists here in Fargrave. She and Lyranth seem to have it out for one another, though I have yet to ascertain why.
What sort of business do you have here at the House of Whims?
As the name implies, I trade in eccentricities and capriciousness. I buy and sell as impulse dictates. My establishment carries indulgences from across Oblivion. And information, of course, along with food, drinks, and an amenity for every appetite.
Is there anything you can tell me about, anything you can do to help poor Josette there?
Oh, the mortal on the floor? No, I don't believe so. The spell is quite potent. I suspect the votive runes have a darker purpose than simply elevating emotions and turning mortals into mindless husks. Pity the grasp refuses to investigate.
Sorry about that. The grasp. The grasp is basically the law enforcement for this, all Daedra.
The grasp of the stricture. They enforce law and order in Fargrave. The stricture is a covenant that binds all Daedra and allows us to operate somewhat in concert. Since mortals aren't bound by the covenant, the grasp tends to pay them no mind.
So the grasp of the stricture, are sort of like the city guard then, yeah. Yeah.
An apt description, if somewhat inaccurate. They do enforce Fargrave's laws, but in ways that won't always be comprehensible to the limits of mortal understanding. Try not to commit any crimes in front of them, and they won't harass you. Probably.
They're sort of like Judge Dredd, I'd say. They're both the cop and the judge, so. Well, why is this place called the Cecil Palanquin, anyways?
You came here without knowing, darling. How refreshing. Like an otherworldly conveyance, Fargrave personifies the existential concepts of transit or passage. It did start out as a strange nomadic realm, after all. That's part of the city's allure.
And what does that mean?
It means if you want to travel the myriad corridors of Oblivion, there's no better launching point than fabulous Fargrave. In addition to our famous Plaza of Portals, the entire realm is littered with dimensional access ways. Plus, we have no prince.
And why is that important? Probably because we're not going to get, like, told we have to worship that prince, right?
Without a prince to set the laws and manipulate Fargrave's reality, we're free to shape this city as we choose. The freedom that affords us is sublime. Plus, no prince means less chaos and violence in the streets, rogue cultists notwithstanding.
And I couldn't help but notice the giant skeletons all around.
Aren't they beautiful? One of our best features. No one is quite sure who or what they were, but legend has it they once carried the city from plane to plane, hence the allusion to a Palanquin. Is it true? Well, the skeletons are real enough.
And what kind of Daedra are you, Madam Wim?
A personal query? That will cost extra, my darling. I am a Mezken, what your kind commonly call a dark seducer. Unlike many of my brothers and sisters, I use my charms to beguile and entice for knowledge and profit. I have no interest in violence.
And no sadistic tendencies at all? Hmm? Well, you said Lyrinth might be in the shambles. What else should I know about that?
A terrible place. I urge caution if you decide to venture there. It's a warren of alleys, tenements, and ruins, hidden behind thick walls. Many mortals live there in the most appalling conditions, but it can also be a good place to conduct business.
What kind of business, though?
Oh, innocent mortal. The kind of business best engaged in, where the grasp of the stricture doesn't reach. It's a perfect location to hide a Dagonist cult, seeking to cause chaos and mayhem. I'm surprised our darling of the alleys didn't mention that.
Why do you call the anchorite the darling of the alleys?
Darling of the alleys, fool of Fargrave, woman in the mask. Ever since the anchorite arrived in Fargrave, she's gone out of her way to help the mortals cast upon our shore, and she asks for nothing in return. Pity I know so little else about her.
All right.
The person I was supposed to meet. What do you want?
They made a big deal about coming out there and just like sidestepped them and came around. Hi.
Explain yourself, stranger. The Deadlands isn't a place for chance encounters.
Oh yeah, the anchorite sent me. What can you tell me about the Waking Flame?
The Anchorite wants to get engaged with the cult in exchange for information. I hold up my end of the bargain, and what do I get? Another fool seeking knowledge from Portilgo. This is the last time, you hear? Make sure the Anchorite knows that.
I'll tell her.
They don't tell lowly initiates all the details of their master plan. But I hear things. Sister Seldina wants to take over Fargrave. Make it an offering to Mehrunes Dagon. The votive runes play a part in that, but I don't know exactly how.
Tell me about the sister.
Sister Seldina leads the Fargrave cell. She has a grand vision for the Waking Flame. It starts with Fargrave, but it doesn't end there. She wants control of the portals. With them, she can hand Lord Dagon all of Oblivion. Even Nirn would be in reach.
Does the name Lyrinth mean anything to you?
The Dremora? She's practically all the Order's old guard talk about these days. Seems she's been causing a lot of trouble for Sister Seldina, interfering with her plans. Something's about to happen. Tell the Anchorite. Fargrave's in danger.
All right. Any idea where I can find the sister?
The Order has camps throughout Fargrave and the Deadlands. Sister Seldina could be anywhere. But tell the Anchorite to check the shambles. Look for an abandoned building, someplace hot. I heard one of the Devastators complaining about the heat.
Someplace hot. Not a lot to go on, right?
If we were talking about the Deadlands, no. But the shambles is a different story. That section of Fargrave can't have too many places hot enough to make a Devastator uncomfortable. The Anchorite will figure it out.
Why are you willing to help the anchorite anyways?
What? You assume every Dagonist is a true believer willing to do whatever their superiors tell them? I joined up because they promised me a better life. A way to escape the shambles. But they lied. The Anchorite agreed to help me, for a price.
What price?
If Sister Seldina knew I was talking to you or the Anchorite, my life wouldn't be worth a scab on an Ogrim's elbow. I want out! Look, tell the Anchorite. She can find me at the Bearer's Rest in Fargrave when she's really ready to help an old friend. The Anchorite, I'll be at the Bearer's Rest. She owes me, and I expect her to honor our agreement.
Over here, friend.
Hey.
Lord Dagon will visit disaster upon this ash heap. Mark my words.
Structure guard. Yep.
These new Dagonists are barely worth the effort. I followed them into the plaza and destroyed the voting. The guards decided to get involved. Finally. Hey, did you learn anything from my contacts?
Yeah, Madam Wim said that Larenth was searching the shambles for cult leader, Sister Saldina.
Madam Wim didn't charge you, I hope. She usually lets you sample her wares for free the first time. After that, it gets expensive. The shambles is a big place, but now we know more than we did when we started. Did you also make contact with Teal'go?
Yep. He said that Saldina was using the power of the votive runes to conquer Fargrave. And also to look for an unusually hot building.
Hot? The shambles? Must be the old baths. The furnaces beneath the bathhouse have been burning forever. But what was that about the votive runes? How does Sister Saldina plan to use them to conquer Fargrave?
Well, there are prayers to Dagon. The magic only affects mortals, but we don't know much more than that.
Damn it. No one is going to conquer Fargrave if I have any say in the matter. I suppose we need to investigate the old bathhouse. If we find Sister Saldina, maybe we'll find Larenth too. Let's go to the shambles. We can discuss our options there.
She's got to be like the last. She's got to be like the final, like the second to last villain, right? So, all right, let's go to the shambles then.
Once we enter the shambles, we can work our way together to the old bathhouse.
All right, tell me more about the shambles then.
The shambles can be a dangerous place, but it's also where the majority of Fargrave's mortals live. Warrens and dark alleys fill the area. There are 3 main paths through the shambles. We can take any of them to reach the bathhouse.
What do you know about that bathhouse then?
Just that it's mostly abandoned. Hasn't been used by anyone but squatters and vagrants for years. It's isolated at the northern end of the shambles, easy to secure and unbearably hot. The perfect location for the Dagonist leaders to plot and scheme.
You want to tell me more about your name and why you're wearing the mask?
And I said I'd tell you, once I was sure I could trust you. Let's find out what's waiting for us at the bathhouse. Try to make contact with Larenth for Dremora. After that, we'll see.
Move, mortals, flee!
You will see. Lord Dagon will devour you and your city.
Be silent. Your prince has no power here.
We get to taunt them as they leave. It's really on the far side here. Ba, 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 ba. The bathhouse. This will probably be warded. Yep.
Door should take us into the bathhouse if we can open it. Locked, and with magic. Damn. If the main door is sealed, let's see if we can get in through the courtyard. That opening in the cliffside. Do you think we could fit through there?
Yep.
This is the Bathhouse Courtyard. See those depressions? Used to be outdoor pools. Let's see if we can find a way inside from here.
Oh, let's go over here and talk.
I never met a building with only a single entrance and exit. Let's look around the courtyard. There's got to be another way to get into the bathhouse.
Why do you think there's another way to get in the bathhouse?
Because it's a big building, and big buildings always have multiple exits and entrances. Besides, We didn't come all this way to be defeated by a magical seal on a bathhouse door. Let's...
Good point. It's a shambles. I can go back there.
Opening in the rocks. Maybe we can reach the caves below and get into the bathhouse from there.
Makes sense.
We should be able to find a way inside through the undercroft. It runs beneath the bathhouse. Another ward. I think we can get past this one, though. I have an idea. Unlike the door outside, this area contains everything we need to disrupt the magic sustaining the ward and dispel it. I've seen the Daedra use these crystals to do all sorts of things.
These crystals, we actually had a quest dealing with this before, but yeah, what did it do?
I spotted a lucent among the debris in this hall. It's a Daedric crystal that can absorb and store the background energy that pulses through all the realms of Oblivion. We'll need that to get started.
All right, get the lucent then. Lucent shard then. Then what?
Then take the lucent to the dynamis font over there. That background energy I mentioned, the font absorbs it. Place the lucent on the font, and it will fill it with the charged energy.
Okay, and lucent will charge the font, and then what?
Finally, insert the charged lucent into the discharge labrum beside the door. That will release the energy from the crystal and disrupt the ward. That's the idea, anyway. I've seen the Daedra do all sorts of things using lucents, fonts, and labrums.
So basically we're short-circuiting the ward, right? Like hot wiring a car. All right, let's find lucent.
Remember, find a lucent, charge it in the dynamis font, then place the charged crystal in the labrum beside the door. Once you understand how...
Yep.
That's definitely a lucent. There is... Now take the lucent, place the lucent in the dynamis font, and it should fill it with energy.
Mm-hmm.
That did it. Look how the crystal... Insert the charged crystal into the labrum. It worked! And now you know how to use a charged lucent. Let's see what's behind that door.
Okay. Let's just go ahead and sneak by everyone.
Our hands. They're glowing again.
I see my spell brought the help I requested, but I didn't expect there to be more than one of you.
Hi. What's up, Lyrith?
Ah, my simple spell finally yields results. I was hoping it would bring you to me again, little mortal. I do so appreciate working with known quantities. But who is this other immortal who also carries my glowing brand upon their flesh?
Lyrith, this is the Anchorite. Anchorite, meet Lyrith the Demora. Don't know why you were... Don't know who this is, but okay.
The Anchorite. An unusual appellation even for a mortal. You must be wondering why I summoned you and then failed to be on hand to greet you. When I heard that Sister Seldina had arrived at their headquarters in the Shambles, I had to act quickly.
So you found Sister Seldina then?
You can plainly see that I did not. Finding this location took more time than I expected. And even then, getting inside has proven difficult. But now that we're together, I suspect we can make short work of any obstacles and locate Sister Seldina.
So why are you so intent about getting Sister Seldina?
My reasons are my own, little mortal. Suffice it to say, I want to determine how Sister Seldina plans to utilize the votive runes to seize control of Fargrave. She wants to use its many portals as a gateway between the Deadlands and Nirn.
What do you need us to do then?
Even a Dromore of my talents cannot hope to stand alone against the Dagonists and an army of living disasters. I seek to learn Sister Seldina's secrets. You want to protect the mortal realm from total destruction. Together, we can accomplish both.
All right, what can you tell me about Sister Saladina then?
She's smart and ruthless. A powerful combination in a mortal. She commands the Dagonists here in Fargrave and oversaw the creation of the Cataclysm. With that device, she plans to create an army of living disasters to unleash upon Nirn.
Living disasters? That sounds terrible.
Daedra empowered to unleash destruction upon the mortal realm and make it easier for Mehrunes Dagon to conquer Nirn. Did you know he's tried before? Dagon broke an agreement, and the doors between the Deadlands and Nirn were sealed. He can't use them.
What agreement did he break?
Sotha Seal, one of the so-called living gods of the Dark Elves, supposedly made a pact with various Daedric princes to protect Nirn. I don't know the details, but Dagon broke the pact. Sotha Seal slammed the doors and closed off Dagon's connections.
So Sister Sildina wants to conquer Fargrave, so Dagon can use the portals then?
Everything about Sotha Seal's pact is rumor and speculation, so that is what I hope to determine. And I want to examine the Cataclysm. The attack on Fargrave could begin at any moment. Shall we enter the next area and see what Saldina is up to?
Sure.
Glow. It vanished again.
The spell has run its course. The glow will not return. Now, to deal with this ward.
Don't worry, your hands aren't going to glow again. You can scratch your butt.
In the chamber beyond.
The Dremora again. Well, you're too late. The ritual is almost complete. Dagon's blessing reverberates among the votive runes. Soon a wave of destruction will sweep over Fargrave.
The spell.
Stop! The
What's
ritual must
happening to us?
destroy the Daedra.
Mortal,
My
destroy
plan
the
depends
votive
upon it.
runes.
Waking flame, protect the votive runes. All that work, ruined. You will pay for that, Dremora. You and your companions both.
Sister Saldina got away, and we're right back where we started. Nowhere.
How quickly mortals succumb to despair. Let's talk in the next room. Take a moment to look around. Sister Saldina departed in haste. Certainly she left something behind.
Okay. Guess I have to talk to Larenth first.
I did not think Sister Saldina capable of performing such a powerful ritual. You did well, mortal. A few more moments and the magic would have exploded across Fargrave, leaving the city defenseless and destroying all of the Daedra, including me.
Well, we stopped the ritual, but Sister Saldina escaped, right?
Yes, but she fled in haste. That means she probably left something behind. Let's search this bathhouse. Bring me whatever you find. Sister Saldina's abandoned paraphernalia may be of use to me, and it may tell you more about the threat to Nirn.
Do you know what the ritual is about? How is it going to help the cult?
From what I could devise, the votives elevated the emotions of mortals in the city, siphoning the energy generated into Sister Saldina's ritual. She planned to use that energy to destroy the Daedra, including the Grasp, leaving the city defenseless.
See, the thing that bothers me here is they keep on talking about how weak the mortals are, but supposedly mortal emotion is enough to destroy all the Daedra in the city. Does that make sense? I mean, the mortals aren't outnumbering the Daedra, right? All right, should we go after Sister Saldina then?
That would accomplish nothing. The Dagonists are experts when it comes to disappearing into the shadows. Sister Saldina will pay for her various insults soon enough. For now, see what she left behind when she fled.
So they're basically a Bond movie villain. We get it. All right, let's see if we can find the bathhouse. Oh my god. It's bath towels. Ah! It's bath salts. Oh no. It's overpriced soaps. Encoded note.
What did you find, little mortal?
Here you go.
Tell me what you found, and I shall determine if it has any significance to my quest, or to yours.
You know, you could have just searched this place on your own and just left me to be, like, relaxing. But here you go.
Nor can I. And while your literacy may be in question, mine certainly is not. This is no language, mortal or it is written in code. One used by the Dagonists for their more guarded correspondence.
Can you decipher it?
No, and neither could any lowly recruit we captured off the streets and tortured for information. This code is reserved for the Order's elite. We'll need to find someone who can decipher it. I'm sure Fargrave must have someone with those skills.
What should we do now?
We should leave. The cult's forces may have scattered, but no doubt Sister Saldina will send a force to try to deal with us. We should not be here when they arrive. Perhaps the Anchorite can suggest a place for us to meet up, safe from prying eyes.
Are you coming with us?
What I seek still eludes my grasp, so our business is not yet concluded. You ought to be grateful. I can be a powerful ally, when the mood strikes me. I will meet you back in Fargrave. I'm sure the Anchorite knows someone who can decipher the code.
All right.
Let's meet at the inn in Fargrave. Bearer's Rest. We can talk privately there.
Let's have to learn it one more time here.
We should leave.
Oh, I guess not. Anchorite.
We can meet up at the Bearer's Rest.
All right. Now we could walk, or we could just teleport. In we go. To the Bearer's Rest.
So you really came all this way to stop the waking flame from destroying Fargrave?
Something like that. An unusual city, Fargrave. They say those huge skeletons are all that remains of the beings that once carried it from place to place. This inn is named after them, I believe. But why are you speaking to me? Ask the Anchorite about a codebreaker.
Just catching up. All right, Anchorite.
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that. Finding the leader of the cult, watching as she almost completed a deadly ritual, and then allowing her to escape. I never fail like that. And all we have for our trouble is a coded message.
Know anyone who can decipher it?
Maybe. This is Fargrave, after all. The city connects to everywhere. Madam Wim must know someone here who can help us with that. In the meantime, we made a deal, and I always honor my commitments.
Mm-hmm.
You earned this, my friend.
All right, thank you.